kids did nothing to you. Of course slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You could have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.
I think it's a compact humans have always made, we want to be able to laugh about stuff that's upsetting us. It's part of it. And then everybody gets upset sometimes, and they all go, how could we make such jokes? This is a terrible thing. But in the end, we always choose the humor. That's why comedy's always stayed in there. Once in a while, everybody says, this is wrong to talk about these things, and you shouldn't joke about bad things or hurting things. And we all clang a bell because that's part of the process. And I accept that. That's okay that people do that because it's part of it. You say that to yourself once in a while because it lets you off the hook. I tweeted to everybody that I thought that joke was inappropriate. And then later you can laugh at a joke that's inappropriate. You know, I mean, that way you get to have both ways.
But are there places you will not go?
Only if it's not funny or if it's boring.
But that's it.
Yeah, or somebody else has been there heavily. Then I won't go there usually because it's boring. Yeah, no, it's only if it's boring. But I don't. I remember saying one time that saying that a joke is too awful, saying that something is too terrible to joke about, is like saying that a disease is too terrible to try to cure it. I mean, that's what you do with awful things. You joke about them. That's how you get through it. It's how you survive life.
That's the only way you can talk.
Yeah. So to say that's so terrible, I can't joke about it. That's totally counterintuitive to me. It's like, if it's that awful, you better start joking about it. Because that's how human beings get through it.
I was in upstate New York in a small town, and I was standing in front of a drugstore. And in the window of the drugstore, they had a wheelchair on display in the window. Is that really an impulse purchase? I should get a wheelchair. That would really help with my paralysis. Then I wouldn't have to drag myself everywhere I go, like I've been doing for 10 years since my legs were blown off at the marathon. Okay. A bunch of hypocrites, apparently. Because, let me point some out to you. Motherfuckers. You were just, like, seconds ago, laughing at a man with no legs crawling on the ground. You're just... And then at the end, you're like, oh, but not those particular legless people. No. We thought you meant just some with a childhood disease who deserves to be laughed at. Not one of those. Now we're laughing at all legless people equally. However you lost your legs. Ha ha ha. You haven't legs. And we've legs. I have legs. I have 2 legs. 2 legs. That's the maximum amount. I love having 2 legs. I love it. I wouldn't like having no legs. I really don't think I would like it. I think it would suck. I think it would out of the balls of Christ. It's an old Southern expression. It's not used like it used to be. I think 2 legs is better than none. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not popular. You're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to always be very positive about disabled people. But I think that puts pressure on them to be positive. What if they don't want to be? Because the only story we want to hear is about the amazing disabled people. He's amazing. He lost his legs and then he won the leg-having contest. What about disabled people who aren't amazing? Who are just ordinary with a sweatshirt and some potato chips and he's going, fuck, I wish I had legs. No, this is better. This is better with no legs. Why is it better? Because you can do anything now. I can do 4 things. Fuck off. I just don't know that our positive, non-disabled attitude really helps. Like retarded people. We're going to talk about retarded people for 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We're going to discuss retarded people for 20 minutes. It's not okay to never speak of them. No, we're going to talk about them. First of all, I want to talk about the word retarded, okay? Because the word retarded, it's a bad word, and people do not like the word retarded. They find it very offensive. Now, I'm a little confused by this, because it wasn't always a bad word. And I grew up in the 70s, and it wasn't bad back then. And most bad words were always bad. You know, cunt never had a day in the sun. There was never a time where the Santa Claus at the mall was like, come here, you little cunt, tell me what you want for Christmas. And then in the 90s, we're like, let's lay off a cunt a little bit there, gang. No, we used the word retarded in the 70s. We used it to identify people who were retarded. It wasn't controversial. It wasn't like he's retarded. It was like he is retarded. This fellow right here is retarded, right? I told you, yes, you're still retarded. He is retarded, everyone. And I grew up in Boston. We didn't say retarded in Boston. We said retarded. He's retarded. God bless him, he's f***ing retarded. That's the way we used it. With love. Help the retarded. That's what people said in the 70s. Help the retarded. There was a lady outside the supermarket near my house every Christmas with a bell. She was like, help the retarded. Help the retarded. You gonna tell me she was a bad person? She was helping the retarded. And I feel like we had more of them around back then. I haven't seen one in years. In the 70s, there was a retarded guy in a windbreaker on every street corner. We were using the word and they were more in our lives. I swear to God, they were more. They were in our culture. There was TV movies about retarded people all the time. Tonight on ABC, a retarded boy's dream. There was one, I remember with Sean Cassidy. I don't know if you remember Sean Cassidy. Some of you too young. But Sean Cassidy, he began his career as a teen pop idol. He was a 13-year-old boy with a very hit song called Da Do Run Run. And he had feathered blonde hair and juicy lips. And he's on the cover of Teen Beat magazine. And everybody liked Sean Cassidy because he was sexy. He's a sexy boy. I thought he was sexy. I did. I thought he was really sexy. I was 6 years old. But I already had inappropriate sex feelings for teenage boys when I was 6. I was an old soul. I was a pedophile when I was 6. I used to go up to teenage boys when I was 6, like, hey, how's it going? That kid's weird. He's got a boner. Anyway. Not anymore. I outgrew it. But, no. I'm not sexually attracted to teenage boys. I'm not. But I don't not get it. I mean, I get it. I'm not like, what? Like, you can see it. Like, I was in an airport once, and I'm walking along where people walk in the airport, and there's these chairs facing the aisle, and there's this family sitting there, a mom and a dad and 2 teenage boys, and they're like just both sitting with their phones with their legs. They're wearing like these shorts. One had cut-off shorts, and one had basketball shorts. And they both just had their legs open because they don't give a f***. Both legs just splayed, and then just smooth, you know, just very and I saw it. Didn't do anything to me. But I kind of wanted to stop and go, hey, fellas, let's close that up, huh? You're not getting me, but I know you're causing a problem for somebody in this airport. Let's close it up. I did not say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, let's return to the comfortable subject of retarded people, shall we? So Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was a teen singer who then grew up. He was about 18. Now he was, old and gross. Nobody wanted to f*** him. So he started to act. And he had a movie on TV called Normal People, where he played a retarded man who wants to live a normal life. It was very inspiring, actually. And at one point, he didn't do like a big retarded character. He wore thick glasses. He talked like Elmer Fudd. That was the whole thing. So he goes up to the guy who runs the group home he lives in, and he says, I want to get a job. And the guys who runs it is like, Republican conservative. So he's like, you can't get a job. You're retarded, And, But then there's a liberal lady who works there, and she says, of course he can get a job. He's as good as anyone. So they let him get a job as an air traffic controller or whatever was available. And then he meets a woman who's also retarded who lives at the group home. He falls in love with her. It's a very nice love story. And he says, we want to get married. And the guy says, she said, but they're in love. So they get married. And then one day he says, we want to have a baby. And the liberal lady says, no way. And they just shut them down right there. And that's the end of the movie. I swear to God, that's just how it ends. And the point of the movie is just, hey, there's a limit. Like, that's, I guess, what the point of it was. And that's pretty intense. But hey, retarded people were on television. We were talking about it. We were dealing with it. And they said the word retarded about 50,000 times in the movie. Now we don't say the word, and I don't see them anywhere. I guess that's my problem with it. And also, the word is not basically a bad word. It's a medical term. But it became a bad word because it's used as an insult, really. Not towards retarded people. Nobody does that. Nobody calls retarded people retarded to insult them. What would be the point of that? It'd be like going up to a chair and saying, you're a chair. Like, what are you doing? No. People use it on their friends. Like, you're at a bar, your friend's like, I don't have any more money for beer. And you're like, you're retarded. Do you know that? And in that moment, no one retarded is insulted. They're not. Do you know why? Because they're not there. Because we don't include them in our lives. They're not at the bar. How many of you have a retarded drinking buddy that you hang out with? No, you take them to the zoo when they're little and then fuck them. This is what I find confusing about this thing, is that we told many generations of people that they are retarded. We told them that that's what they are, and they lived with it, and they dealt with it. And then we just decided it's a bad word. So did we tell them this? Did we go back to them and explain this to them? Listen, Nelson, I have something to tell you. You're not retarded anymore. You mean I'm cured? No. No. No, we're not even working on it.
with the
Why'd you only do
episodes.
8 this year? I'm sure that was your choice.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I was gonna do. What happened was I wanted to take a year off again. I wanted to not start shooting until the fall, and then and they agreed, FX, to let me take a year off. And so then a couple months went by. This is after I finished last season. I was really tired, and a couple months went by, and I was one night I got high. I smoked pot. And I got excited about a whole idea for the next season. I was like, I think I figured out next season. I've got an amazing idea for next season. And I started writing it, and I was like, this is going to be so great. I want to do this now. And I wrote to the president of FX because the next morning he was going to announce that we were taking a year off.
Right.
And I said, hold the announcement. Can I come back after all in the spring? And he said, okay, I got to talk to everybody. So he went and talked to everybody. Then he wrote me back and he said, you have to say what you're doing now because we have to announce this. And he said, we already spent the money for a full season, but you can do a partial season if you want to come back soon. And I was like, totally. And then so he announced that the next morning. And then I woke up and I looked at all the shit I wrote when I was high. I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible stuff. I didn't use a single idea. I had like 10 pages written.
Right.
10 stoned pages.
Could you tell us one idea?
It was all, the whole plot was that Doug Stanhope, who was on the show a few years ago.
As Eddie, yeah.
As Eddie, who the suicidal comic, that I run into him in New York, and he's like wearing a suit and tie, and he just, he cleaned up his act. And he's making money. He's like an investment banker or something like that. And we end up opening a comedy club together. I had this idea. I open a comedy club, and I become a club owner, and and I thought that's such a cool idea. I wrote all these ideas about young comics come and stuff like that. And then I looked at it all. I was like, no, none of this is funny. And it just stunk. It was really bad. And so now I'm like, I gotta. And I only get 8 episodes, and the whole thing was just so stupid. It was just, I made a huge decision that had impact on my and a lot of other people's lives, because a lot of people work for me, and I was stoned at the time.
That's wonderful to hear. How's the pot? You like the pot, huh?
I do very little of it. It's like every couple of weeks. If I do it, I'm very paranoid about drug use. So if I get high like twice in a week, I'm like, I have a problem, and I stop because I just don't like. I don't think it's good for comics getting high. It takes your will away, and it makes you too comfortable. You know? So I don't do it a lot. And I got kids. I can't be around with that. But once every couple of weeks. Smoke a little marijuana.
Just a little bit?
I bought a big thing of marijuana from a guy like 10 years ago. So I smoke very old marijuana. It's really old and dusty.
You still have it from 10 years ago?
I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a while ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. You know what they're doing with marijuana these days and the edibles? You can get some nice fresh stuff, Louis.
Yeah, but I don't want to I don't want to go become a consumer of pot and go find a pot guy.
Right. You told that wonderful story. I think it was in Comedians in Cars with Jerry.
Yeah.
Getting high and going to the 3D movies, the IMAX.
Yeah, I f***ed up a little, too, because I've been back there since, and there's people who see me and oh, my God, he's high now. He's at the IMAX.
Right.
And that's like a perfect nightmare when you're high.
It's the thing now.
Yeah. So
You just want to go and relax and enjoy the movie.
That's all I want to do is I don't want to be pestered.
Yeah, nobody wants to be pestered when they're high.
I hate being pestered.
You ever flush a pet down the toilet? I had to flush my daughter's fish down the toilet. I came home, the fish was dead. She wasn't home from school yet, so I just flushed the fish. And that's a weird moment, too, because fish live in water. So you put it in the toilet, floats to the bottom, like, yeah, he's dead. And then you flush, and it looks like he goes, wait a second, I was taking a nap, Jesus! You gotta be in constant motion to get any respect in this house. And then my daughter comes home. Why did he die, Dad? Come on, what am I gonna say? Why did he die? Because who gives a shit? That's the reason. That's the actual reason. Is because it didn't matter that he was alive. That's why he's dead. He didn't know his name and he didn't love you back. These are the facts about that fish's life. My daughter likes fish. We took her to the aquarium. I took both my kids to the aquarium in Boston, and we were looking at this seal or sea lion. I don't know which one. I don't care. I don't think they need to be separate things. I really don't. They don't care, and we don't care. There's like 3 scientists who give a shit what we call all those things. The scientists are gonna go on TV tomorrow and say, okay, everybody, from now on, seals and sea lions and walruses and you know what? Penguins are all seals now. And we would all be like, yeah, fine. Yes. Whatever, man. Anyway, so we're looking at this sea lion thing, and he's looking back at us through the plexiglass, and he's going, ugh. They're really disgusting in person. Most animals are when you really see them. You ever go to a farm, you think you're gonna see little white sheep going, bah, but they're all fat and colored, and they're like, bah. Jesus. That thing is awful. Anyway, seals don't go, they go, ugh. My daughter's like, what does he say? I don't know. I'm a slave. Kill me.
No, the song, and the song I picked off of iTunes or whatever and threw it on for the sake of the, you know, for just to have something to hand in as a complete thing. And then John Landgraf, the guy who runs FX, when he saw it, he said, I think Louis fits into it. And also, I didn't know I was going to call it that. I just did that as a thing. And he said, I think Louis fits in. I like the opening. I like the song. He took it as the way the show's supposed to be. And then I needed to go get, then I needed to go get this song, Brother Louis, which was originally recorded by a band called Hot Chocolate. Mm-hmm. And then it was re-recorded by the Stories. And so we went after it, and our legal tiny department, and they said they would give us, there's the publishing and then there's the recording. The publishing is the actual, like the song lyrics and the arrangement, and that costs us, we pay $5,000 an episode for that, which for us, $300,000 show. That's a lot. That's a chunk of our budget.
Wait, is that the publisher and the artist have to get the same thing? I think that was a way to prevent.
Well, some people own both separately.
Yeah.
The master recording is a different group of people because actually, we pay Hot Chocolate for the publishing, or whoever owns their publishing, because they wrote it. But the Stories version is the one that we wanted.
Okay.
Because of that guy, Louis, Ian Lloyd, that singer. The Hot Chocolate version is like 8 guys going, Louis. Yeah. It's not as fun. So we recorded our own version of it. Reggie Watts, who's a comic, he did the music for the first half of the season. And then we didn't have enough to finish it with, and we did it with other people. But he arranged and recorded the music for it that we did, which is almost identical to the Stories version. I think it's a little better. It's just a little nicer. And then we did a version where he sang it, where Reggie sang it, and it didn't work. And we tried to think of another way to create that sound, and we couldn't. I was in the studio with Reggie at like midnight, because all the music on this series, I do it with a group of musicians. It's all original music.
Wow, Jesus.
And but when we were doing the theme song, I was like, how are we going to do this? And then I thought, well, whatever happened to the Stories? Like, whatever happened to the lead singer? So I went on the internet, and I Googled Ian Lloyd. First of all, I Googled the Stories. I don't know who the f*** he was at the time. And I found a YouTube video of him doing it on American Bandstand. And, Louis! And so I Googled his name, and Ian Lloyd is just a guy living in New York City. And he has a band. It's his son's band, but he's like sings. Jesus Christ. And so he's got a little website that he obviously hadn't updated since like 1989 or something. And there's an email on it. So it's like midnight, and I write a Hail Mary email. Hi, I'm a TV producer, and I want to hire you to do a job. Write me if you're interested. And the next morning, I wake up to an email. This is my current email.
Please
This is my phone number. And he gave me his phone number. So I call him up, and he's the greatest guy in the world. And he's just happy to still be singing. Yeah. And I kind of asked, sort of carefully, do you still have the pipes to do what you did on the song? He said, sure, I do. And And I told him, look, here's the thing. Oh, because the song, when we went to try to get it, it was like $20,000 an episode they wanted for the recording.
For the recording of it,
and they wouldn't back down, and we can't afford it. So I went to Ian and I said, can we just hire you as a singer for a day? That's all I can really afford to do. I have no money for this show. And he said, well, I need you to pay me enough that I don't want to kill myself. He'd say basically, I'm happy to do this for you. I just need to have some self-respect, you know. So I offered him some money, and he said, that's fine. And he showed up. It was one of my favorite experiences ever on the show because he was such a good guy. And he remembered how we recorded it. He remembered there's a couple of tracks, and he harmonized with himself, and he helped us with it. And the only thing, I had him do it exactly the way he did it in the original, and his voice is a little older, but I like it that ours is a little different. And also I asked him to say, instead of Louie, you're going to cry, the second time he says, Louie, you're going to die. I just asked him to make that one change, which he did.
Wow.
And he nailed it. So we have a version that 0 people believe is anything but the original Stories version.
Without having to pay
that money, which would be going to Ian Lloyd. Unfortunately, he probably himself.
He fucked himself over.
No, and I felt bad because when I did Carnegie Hall, I had this idea to have him sing live to introduce me. And I thought that would be so cool, and he'd go crazy singing Carnegie Hall. I'm sure he didn't see that coming in his future.
Yeah.
But the people at Carnegie Hall, if you do music, they charge you like you're the symphony orchestra, like you're the Philharmonic. So I couldn't afford it, but they printed the programs that says with special guest Ian Lloyd on my Carnegie
collector's item.
But no, he's a great guy, and
Goddamn,
but there's been people on the internet that are like, this can't be the Stories version because it says you're going to die, and I have the Stories version. I've listened to both back to back.
They don't notice the daughter change, but they notice that fucking shit.
Yeah, that's could you have him sing live if you had a recording, or is it just if music's being played? If you had the music taped?
Well, at that point, I wanted to have like a little combo band, and then they said that would cost a lot, and then they said, well, you could do it with playback, and then I said, well, I just don't want to do it. So you just called me out on a lie. I really just kind of backed out on hiring him. But I never told him I was going to hire him.
For comparison, we got the original.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right at the hook, the Stories version.
A little slower.
He's a little grittier now, a little more in his voice.
All right, and then
what made you think of this song for the show? Thank you, Lou.
Danny, you got the other one? Buddy. What?
Oh, you want me?
No, yeah, you got the
the original from the Open.
From the Open.
Louis, your version's way better.
I think you
really
like it better.
updated it.
Let's see. Here we go.
My bad.
This opening is from the Hot Chocolate version. They open this way. The Stories version is more 70s stringy in the beginning. Yeah, there's more strings here.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like...
sounds good.
What's the guy who did Fred is Dead? Fred is Dead.
That's what I said.
Yes, like that. Who is that guy?
Was this a popular song?
Yeah, it was a hit.
Oh, it was a big hit. Okay.
Curtis Mayfield, I think.
Curtis Mayfield. The music is a little Curtis Mayfield.
Wow.
That strings.
Wow.
Louie.
I always thought that I thought that was the original lyric.
No.
Until right this moment.
Doesn't exist in the original.
That's fucking...
Your version's way better.
I love him, this crooning singer saying, you're going to die. You're going to cry.
What a great anecdote.
Yeah, usually those back scenes things are boring. That was a pretty good
that
one.
was very...
that guy over.
You totally...
him over with his help.
He was so fucked with his help.
Yeah.
He has horrible representation.
He would have started getting checks from ASCAP. Right. They'd be coming every time the show is on. Netflix.
Every
DVD. Boom, boom. Instead, he got a day rate.
You had such a great experience with the guy, but you
No,
over.
I owe Ian Lloyd. He's a good man. I always get emails from him when he's in town and stuff.
Put him in an episode.
He's a good man. No, I'm going to. He also wants to act, too, so I'll put him in something.
How old is he?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Black or white?
50s, white guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Scrawny white guy.
Yeah. with a voice. Nobody has that voice. I mean, that's a testament to what he did. That in 30 years later, I couldn't find anybody that could replicate that sound. There's no white guy.
That is amazing. Yeah.
No, what is that?
Yeah.
What kind of? There's no. It's not soprano or something. It's just
heroin.
Yeah,
oh, that's him right there.
Yeah.
Hey, he looks all right. Hey, listen,
he's awesome.
Why don't we take a break?
Fishing captain.
Louis, you going to make it to the end with us, or do you got to go
Yeah,
somewhere?
I'll hang around.
Okay, good. Louis C.K.
I always seem to get in trouble with people. I don't know what happens to me. I was in traffic once, and a guy behind me lost his mind. That ever happen to you? The guy behind you in traffic just decides that you're the problem. It's you. I don't know what happened. I was sitting in this car, and there's 50 cars ahead of me before any light. And the guy behind me just starts beep, 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 beep. I look at him, and he's honking just at me. He's amazed that I'm not going. He's going, go, Jesus! Just go! Screaming out his window at me. Like I'm driving all 50 cars there, you know? I'm pushing them like shopping carts in a parking lot. What does he think? He keeps yelling, go! And I'm trying to do that thing. What? I can't. What do you want? What do you want? Why are you... But it just made him madder. He was like purple and crazy. And I'm laughing at him, you know, till he gets out of his car. He's one of these guys, gets out of his car, comes up to my car, starts screaming at me, move it! Move it! And what am I gonna say back? What's gonna be my argument that's gonna make him see clearly, you know? Well, I can't because of all the cars. I'm not able to get through the cars because they're solid. They're made of solid material. You know what I mean? And he's going to go, oh, yeah, I didn't know they were solid. That's right. Yeah, you can't drive through the cars. I'll just go back to my car and wait. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. But he kept yelling at me, so I just decided, you know what? I'm going to argue with this guy. I'll argue with him. But I'm going to argue about something else. I'm not going to have his argument. I'm going to have mine. So he goes, move it! And I go, well, give me back my jacket! And he stopped. And I was like, yeah, you got my jacket! Give it back! Now! I want it! He got scared. Got back in his car and he locked his doors, so, you know, that's what I do from now on. I was talking to my, this guy Jerry that I know, and he's one of these guys, you know those people who, they sound like they're happy for you, but they sound like they're in pain also? You know people that talk like that? He's like, hey, what's going on? And I go, well, my sister is getting married. Oh, that's wonderful! Oh! That's terrific. Yeah, and I think we're going to have a baby. Oh, my God. Ah! Ah! God bless you! Thanks, pal. A friend of mine sent me a porn the other day. Folks can just send you pornography now. It was a porn. It was two old men, like really old guys, really old, and they were sucking each other's cocks, like really sucking each other's cocks. They were so old. I was surprised they were doing anything. But there they were. One of them's like sitting on the edge of a bed, and his socks have fallen, you know. And the other guy's on his knees on a pillow, and he's just fucking blowing the guy. Then they switched places. I watched long enough to see them switch places. And when the second guy was done, I called my friend and said, why'd you send me this? He said, because it's amazing. And it really was, you know? It really was. I've watched it a few times.
Because it doesn't turn me on. It's inspiring. Because you're like, go, fellas. Because you worry about old guys. You know, you see an old man walking by himself with just a grapefruit in a plastic bag, you know? And you're like, oh, shit, that's horrible. Maybe he's going to suck another guy's cock. Life might be better than you think. It's interesting because porn used to be like you go find your thing, you know? But now you go to a porn site, it's everybody's stuff. You can put in a search word to narrow it down, or you can look around. Find new things. I saw a fart porn one time. So fart porn. I never thought I'd be turned on by farts. I'm not interested in farts. Farts are okay. I'm farting right now. I've been farting this whole time. And I didn't want to watch it because it was a fart porn. It was because of the title. The title is what got me. The title was, Nice Girl Farts in Your Face. Who's not going to watch that? Nice girl farts in your face. So I click on it. And there's this girl standing there. I'm like, she is nice. She's totally nice. Just a nice girl standing there. Pink sweater with little blue buttons on it. And she's looking at the camera and she says, hi, I'm so glad to see you. And I was like, wow, she made me feel good, you know? And then she turns around like she's reaching, she goes, I gotta show you something I bought. And she's reaching up and all of a sudden, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was in the title, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, oh my God. She just farted right in my face. She seemed so nice. But the best part is when her reaction, because I thought she would be like, that's right, I farted in your face. But she wasn't, she was like, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that happened. I've never been that hard in my entire life. I was so excited. Because I realized it's not really about the fart. It's about the shame. It's about the sexy shame of a truly nice girl who just thunder farted right in your face and she regrets it. Here's the worst part. I can't find one that good again. I can't. They're never that good. I've been chasing the dragon on this fart porn for months. It's just always some bored chick. Hello. Like, come on. Tighten it up, would you? A little bit?
The worst part of my day, worst part of every day of my life, is when I have to put on my socks. Putting on my socks is the worst part of every day. And it always will be. Even if I have a terrible day in the future where my grandmother is murdered by my other grandmother. If that ever happened to me, the worst part of that day will be when I put on my socks. But if I have to put on my socks, that means here's what I have to do. I have to get my hands past my pointed toe. I don't even know how I do it. I'm sitting here, I don't know how I do that. It's because you have to, it's like folding a bowling ball in half. And as soon as I start, I can feel I'm pushing all the fat up into my vital organs. And I just feel all the systems failing. Beep, beep, beep. And I have to try, I have to lay on my back like an 8-year-old and go like this. And I start passing out. Ugh. And I know other people's lives are hard. I know. I saw an interview on TV with Michael J. Fox. And he has Parkinson's. And he was describing brushing his teeth. He said it takes him 2 hours a day. And he said it's agony. And I saw this and I thought, okay, that's hard. That is hard. And so is putting on my socks. Sorry, Michael. Doesn't make it easier to know about your thing. Tell you what, I'll help you brush your teeth. You help me with the socks.
I can't smoke pot because it's the same thing. I'm too old for it. Sometimes young people come up to me after shows. Hey, do you want to smoke some pot? I'm like, can I get my portion to smoke without you alone later? Because I don't want to stand in a parking lot with some 20-year-olds. Last time I got high, I was in Kansas City, and I got high because I was in Kansas City. So after the show, so these kids that worked at the club, they're like, you want to smoke some pot? I'm like, yes. So I'm standing in a parking lot with these kids, like 20 years old, and we're smoking a joint. And I'm taking huge hits because I had no idea. I didn't know they'd been working on this shit like it's the cure for cancer. I didn't understand the technology that's gone into making pot so powerful. Because when I was a kid, you could just smoke a joint for a while. Now you take 2 hits and you go insane. It's not doable anymore. And I was taking big hits, like big 1970s jean jacket, Bad Company hits. Here come the jesters, 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. And I'm like, yeah. And even the kid with the wooden hole of no ear, the absence of flesh in his ear with wood, I don't know what that is. Even he was like, "That you should be careful, that's a lot of pot. That's very strong marijuana." Yeah, I'm fine. Running with the devil, just and in about 10 seconds, everything just and I'm like, oh, this is an ordeal now. I'm not gonna feel okay for a very long time. And everybody's just standing around and talking, and I'm hoping, like I'm really hoping that I look like this. But I'm pretty sure that I was just scanning insanely. I was actually counting, like, look at her for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to him. 5, 4, 3, 2. Randomize. Don't go in the same direction. 5, 4, 3. Nod your head. That looks like you're listening if you nod your head. Ha ha ha. And at one point I realized I need to get out of here because the air is hitting my arm weirdly and they can tell. They totally know that I'm not handling the way air is touching my arm right now. Why am I doing that with my hand? That's weird to do that with your hand. Nobody stands like this. Nobody stands like this. Just no, that's also, that's weird too. That's crazy. Just, shit. I gotta go. But I didn't know how to leave because I had this dilemma. We're all standing in a perfect circle facing each other. And I thought it's gonna be insane if I just turn I'm one person with my back now. Do I just back away like this and hope that they fill in? And then I thought, no, say something. Say something out loud to them that smooths the transition of you leaving. Okay, what do I say? Pick a thing to say. Goodbye. That's a nightmare. That's just goodbye. That's not even, that's just noises. Finally, I walked away and I said, I'm leaving! And I know it was that bad because they all went, oh, okay, all right. Whoa. Like, I'll never see those people again as long as I live. And then I had to get in a car. I forgot that I had rented a car, and I have to drive back to the hotel. And I'm driving on this highway in Missouri. And at one point I realized, I think it's been about 25 minutes since I looked out the front window of this car. I've just been dealing with directly in. Oh, shit.
It works, but I was at the movies the other night, and I see a trailer come on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and I just had to burst out. It's Louie!
Yeah. Yes.
You were huge.
I'm in a trailer. I'm like 18 feet tall.
You were huge on the screen. I'm just like, it's Louie!
You know what's great is that my dad and my mother both had the same experience because they didn't even know I was. That's how little I could call them. That's how bad a son I am. My dad was like, he's just going to see a movie, and he sees his son making a goofy stop the music for the joke.
Right, yes.
Like,
I know.
Like
No,
the trailer,
that too.
The music's like, and then my joke. And then, that's really...
He's that guy in the trailer.
Really cheesy.
What movie?
It's a movie with Martin Lawrence. It's called Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Right.
And he plays it's coming out in February, I guess, and he plays this I got this call from my agent once last year during the summer saying they want you to audition for this Martin Lawrence movie. And I said, no, I don't audition for stuff because I never get it.
Right.
I stink.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. And so they because it's not just you got to go park in some place and get a validation and walk in the hot sun across it.
So there's a lot more than just standing there and auditioning.
Yeah, and then you get in there and they're like, we're so glad you're here. We're fans of your stand-up. And then you open your mouth and they go, what? Why did you come here? You're awful. So it's an awful thing to go through.
Terrible.
So I don't do it anymore. So then one day they go, this Martin Lawrence movie really wants to see you. So I said, all right, make an appointment. And they made the appointment. And then I remember it was like 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. And so it got to be 2:30. And I'm like, I'm not going. I didn't go. And
Jesus Christ.
So they
How did you get so popular?
You're a go-getter, Lou.
Yeah, so they call me and they go, they're offended because they actually really made a space for you. All right, make another appointment. So they made another appointment on the day I was leaving, and I just, again, I got on the flight, and I remember being on the flight going, oh, boo, I forgot. And then I get to New York, and there's a script of the movie waiting for me in my apartment, and with a note, please put yourself on tape.
There should have just been an FU note.
Yeah.
Just
but they want me to get,
screw.
I'm certainly not going to go get a video camera, set it up, make my wife talk like Martin Lawrence so I can audition for this movie, and then send it. So
yeah.
I said, yes, I'll put myself on tape, and I never did. And then 2 weeks later, my agent called and said, they're giving you the part.
Wow. Wow, that is a great strategy.
Yes, it is.
It's like, I don't care if I get it. I'm not going to audition.
Yeah.
You were so relaxed.
Yeah.
They're giving you the reason I think, and because I've cast movies and TV shows, when you go on tape, when you audition for something, you close the book on yourself. They go, okay, because every audition kind of no matter how good somebody is. When you audition, it's disappointing. Like, even if it's like, oh, let's get Robert De Niro, and then if he auditioned, which he doesn't, obviously, you go, it wasn't what I saw. But
Could
when
you
there's
be
somebody,
more De Niro?
Yeah, exactly. But when somebody's out there and they won't audition, you're like, but he might be the guy. He might be the guy. And so they didn't find anybody.
You'd rather
good.
have the element of doubt working for you.
Oh, hey, buddy. That's the first movie I ever got, and I got it that way. And I've done 2 more movies that I got without auditioning.
Love it.
Same way.
Bravo.
Same way.
Whatever works for you, man.
But the line in the stupid thing is he's a TV show host, and I go, you're the new Oprah. You're the male Oprah. You're Oprah. It's awful joke.
Yes.
Did you deliver it?
I'd love to lay it on the movie, but I made it up. It was
You're the male Oprah. Oprah.
Awful joke.
Yes.
Did you deliver it?
I'd love to lay it on the movie, but I made it up. It was an ad lib.
You're Oprah.
Yeah.
When I saw your huge face on the screen, I wanted to yell out, "I know this guy!" until the joke.
Yeah, exactly. And then, who's that guy?
What an idiot! I was like, Louie, you want to sit over here near me?
Hey, bro. We
I made
Jimmy's
that up.
still repeating the line.
I don't actually get it.
I don't actually
get it. Because Oprah, is that like...
He's the male
Oh,
Oprah.
yeah, that's like a bra.
Bro, which is like a black gentleman refer to
Yo,
each
my
other.
my bro.
The
a
word
long time
bra
ago.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
a effeminate black word, does it?
No, but it's just the No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't need the feminine side to then have. Why don't we listen? Why don't we listen to the joke?
All right.
Okay.
Showtime.
Yeah.
America's
the music.
favorite talk show host is married television sweetheart. You're the male Oprah. Oprah. But before
there it is. The worst part is
No,
that
I'm wrong. That's an excellent
I know,
joke.
it's really good. The worst part is that the guy, the director, kept telling me to laugh at the joke.
That's you laughing?
He goes,
Okay.
you got it. You have to really, you're being funny and you're making a joke. Everything I do in the movie where I'm saying anything that's funny, which is never, he says, you have to laugh really hard because you're being funny.
Did you have to wear the
I'm laughing. I'm LOLing
Who directed
all
this?
of my jokes.
Who directed
I'm
this?
one of those jackasses that writes a joke and then says LOL to himself.
Yeah. Did you have to wear the Bluetooth through
Director-
the whole movie?
Yes, I did. I'm wearing a Bluetooth.
I see that.
like,
I see it
through-
still.
There he is.
Are you meant to be like a manager type of guy or something?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Let me hear it again.
You're the male Oprah. Oprah. But before they start their new family, he's taking her back home to meet his.
That's it.
That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
laugh, though.
It was a funny
Who's
joke.
the director?
It
He
was
sounds
easy
like
to
he
laugh
wrote us
at.
comedy.
Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's cousin.
Cool, because he's right, though. That is the way to do it. Is you should always laugh after you say something funny.
Yes, always.
Good thing Spike didn't think that way.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, he would have said, go, "Hurr," after you say anything tough. You've been hoodwinked.
Hoodwink.
Let's go to Jared in Boston. Jared, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, Jared?
Boo.
Oh, give him the Jimmy Boo.
No, not the Jimmy Boo.
My does that to me when I tell a bad joke in the relationship. We'll actually be laying around, I'll say something awful, and if it's really bad, she'll go, "Thanks, Uncle Jim," or she'll just go, or she'll just go, "Boo." She boos me in our personal life.
Hey, we got a taser story.
Reminding her that you're permanently older.
I've never seen so much advertising for one film in my entire
Oh my
life.
God, it's embarrassing.
And it doesn't look good.
Well, that's why all the advertising.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't do that over where you're from.
No.
Over here, if you
They
see
don't
a commercial for a
advertise
movie
it.
over and over again, it means it blows.
When I see Vince Vaughn on that big wheel in the print ad,
It's crazy.
it just cracks me up. It's like, why would a big guy like Vince Vaughn be on a big wheel?
I know, that must
being
be-
chased and stuff, and I laugh every time I see it.
Oh, because
He's too big for that.
He-
guy.
Of course
big
he
for that.
is.
Totally too big for it.
Oh, it's just silly.
It's just so silly. Why would a big fella do that?
I know.
And then my mind runs through all the other little things that he can be on as
Yes,
a big fella.
exactly.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see what things they chose. To put him in. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
You go to the tape whatever you want, man. You're old, bro.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, bro. Yuck. Here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
You gotta laugh.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You're old, bro.
Yeah, he's in a movie and we're doing a dumb radio show.
I know.
Yeah, we're idiots.
Yeah, I got $100,000 for a week's work.
Really?
So,
For that joke.
for that joke. So
It
make
cost
us,
me 200.
Tell me you
Yes.
do other jokes just as
What?
good. There's like 4
No,
or 5.
that's the best one.
That's the best one.
That's the best one.
100 grand.
he's going to have the very best of Louis C.K. He's going to have 7
right.
jokes. That's one of them.
That's right. That's right. That's gonna be number one.
Meeting Jay
That's
Black.
good. I can tell my friends that I know the guy who says the Oprah joke.
That's right.
I'm going to be like the king back in England.
That's right.
When
I
that
mean, that's
movie
what I'm
gets
gonna-
released on DVD.
That's what I'm going to be to black people after that movie comes back.
It's Oprah guy.
Hey, Oprah guy.
Yeah.
All right, here's more from
That's gonna be on my posters when I go on tour. Oprah, Louis C.K.
here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
K is going to be doing the One Traveling Virus this summer. We should have the dates soon, I guess. Soon. I think we're doing 8 to 10 dates this year. There goes our summer. But
Yeah,
Louis C.K. is
all right.
definitely going to be with us. That's very, very good news. We found that out this morning.
Gonna be a pisser.
And your wife wasn't impressed, you were saying?
Yeah, I came home and I showed her all these offers, and it's good. You guys are paying really good money. Like I don't have
Take care of the comics.
Yeah, I don't have a TV job right now, so that's my income.
Yeah.
And I showed it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, great. So you're going out of town, leaving me with the kids." I'm like, "Fuck you. How much money do you make?"
What are you pulling in this week?
Yeah. Would you rather starve to death and let the kids get skinny? You
ungrateful cunt.
Now, the only way
Who doesn't listen to XM?
She doesn't quite get the point that, this is your job. You don't go on.
And I'm remembering the phrase I was trying to remember. The separation of labor. Is that what it is? The division of labor contract has been thrown away in marriage.
Because I know where you're going to go with this, but I got to ask Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Like, when you married your wife, you were already in comedy, right?
Yes, I was.
So it's not like you were...
I didn't spring it on her. No.
It wasn't like you're working for Nassau, you had a 9-to-5 job, you were coming home, and she knew what she was getting into, that you'd be there to raise the kids. When you guys met, she knew you were a road comic.
Yes. But the way, it's not even that I go on the road. The point is that I enjoy my job.
Right.
So she thinks of it that because it's not like I'm going out and slack. She wishes I was doing a miserable job, and then she would be proud of me
Where you'd come home
for
and go,
debasing myself in order to put a roof over the head. But the fact that I do something that I'm proud of, that I love doing, but it still puts a roof over the head. But because women's liberation... because there are women that have careers, we're not allowed to say that we are providers anymore if you're a man. But the fact is, my wife lives off of my work and doesn't do shit. So if she had a career, then she could go, you with your Open Anthony tour. I don't care. I'm working too.
Yeah, I got my money.
But the fact is, she just eats food that I buy for her. But I'm not allowed to point that out, or else I'm a male chauvinist. Like I'm being a backwards pig by pointing out the fact, which is that if I stop doing these fun tours where I might get blown by a whore or two, that she can't eat, that she can't eat anything, because if she tried to start making she's worthless. She has no sense of she couldn't. She could never support our house. She couldn't do it. If we switched places, it would like some dumb sitcom.
Yeah, right.
The kids would be very happy with me because I'm good at taking care of the kids.
You'd be the fun guy hanging around.
And my wife would be unable to
hold down a job.
She's never done it.
Really?
She worked at a Chinese restaurant for 1 week. And the woman who owned it, this Chinese woman, said to her, how come you so slow?
Oh,
and she said, because I'm busy. How many tables you have? And she said, I have 3 tables. And she said, I think you may be Nobi waitress. And she fired her.
Wow. That's how you get fired in Asian.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you Nobi waitress.
I think you may be Nobi waitress.
You may be Nobi waitress.
Yeah, exactly.
I had right under her breast.
Yeah.
And Katie Couric actually had to cover her mouth and go, oh, my God.
She had to cover her mouth.
Yeah, they came back, and she was in shock. It was wonderful. Just love it. And they had to go away.
We're always the only interesting things that really happen. It's like I got to see the Yankees win the World Series in 95, whatever, the first year of that dynasty.
Yeah.
I was at the game. But the thing I remember is the guys that ran out on the field, like 3 different guys ran out on the field. I just love people that run on the field. I just think that's the greatest kind of person in the world, because the dude had a good enough seat to be right on the wall.
Yeah.
And he was without a shirt, saying, like, I'm going out there. And his friends are like, you're stupid.
Dude, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. And the look on their face, dude. Once they make the commitment and they're on the infield, like looking at Derek Jeter, and he's looking at him like, you idiot. But
you are so going to jail.
Like, yeah. And the media tries to be, we don't show it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
yeah, the
wow,
camera goes away. We're not going to show this as a man on the field. We don't want to
condone this type of behavior, so we're not
everyone
showing
wants
the video.
To see it.
And then the cops have to make an example of him, so they hit him really hard. Drag him off. I just love that guy. I love that moment in anyone's life.
The takedown is fantastic.
I'm missing the rest of the game. I'm spending the night in jail. I'm going to get hurt. I don't care.
I hate that they've taken that.
I'm on the one guy slid into home plate.
Yeah.
With no shirt on in October.
I hate they've taken that out of the sporting events, man. When your team wins it all, whatever championship it is, and you get to run on the field. That doesn't happen anymore.
No, that was
that
the
used
best
to be
part.
the greatest thing ever.
Like Chris Chambliss when he hit the game-winning home run.
And he couldn't even get to home plate.
No, and they have this one picture of him where one fan is trying to take his helmet off of his head
while he's running.
He's just going, forget the game. I want that help. Give me your.
What about
steal his helmet.
The one Wade Boggs? He's on the horse backwards, and everyone is out of the stands, and he's got champagne and
on a cop's horse.
A cop's horse backwards, and the fans are all over the field. I mean, you miss those moments.
It used to be part.
When you just would see the sea of people just coming over the wall.
Yeah,
and they would destroy the place.
Movies about it. They'll still shoot it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like they're allowed to.
But now your team wins and everyone has their bang sticks or whatever in the stands. Who cares?
Well, like a half hour before the game is over, they put a line of police on horseback. They
Make sure it
surround
ain't
the
gonna
whole
happen.
field.
Right.
You're not jumping out in front of that.
And you have your noisemakers.
You'd have to be, how drunk do you have to be to jump into a
You used
horse?
to come to the game with a jar because you know you're taking some of the field home with you.
Yep.
All right, let's.
He and I talked about doing the podcast twice.
Delete
on two
that story.
separate occasions.
Delete the story.
No,
Jamie.
we're keeping that story.
I love him. Delete the story.
It's a great story.
He's my favorite guy in the world.
He's a great guy. What's wrong with that story?
That wasn't bad.
You didn't say anything bad about him.
I got a bad Louis story. So I used to open for him before he was in trouble. And, he was like the king of comedy for a while. He was the funniest guy ever, whatever. So I used to open for him, and it was the highlight of my life. And then we were hanging out in his hotel room watching a movie, and we were talking, and I was sitting on his bed, and he was sitting at the chair in the hotel room. And I go, "Hey, Louie," and I farted
on his bed.
On his bed, and he
lost it.
He flipped. I was like, "You're like the filthy comedy guy. I thought you would love a fart." And he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I was crushed.
But did he get actually angry or just like that, dude? What are you doing?
It was worse because it was like, "I'm disappointed in you." Like I thought we were building a relationship, and you fart in my hotel room.
I could see that 100%.
I thought he'd love it.
He strikes me as a guy that would,
Oh, he hated
certain
it.
guys. I could see him going both ways.
Interesting.
I could see him going like, "That was hilarious," or like, "Hey, dude, what the
caught
fuck?
him
I
on
got
a
a nice
bad
sweet."
day.
And it was a great fart too.